What's going on, everyone? So, obviously, LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves. They're the big three. They are the guys that are obviously most important, most valuable, right? Like, we go as far as those guys take us. And I've talked about it, even in the postseason, right? LeBron and Luka need to be transcending. Austin Reaves needs to be great. If that happens, Lakers absolutely could be hoisting Larry O'Brien, winning the NBA championship, right? We need Luka to be the best version of Luka. We saw in that Thunder game, he was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. That was probably the most Luka has looked since being a Laker, right? Say that seven times fast, right? That's like the how much wood would a woodchuck chuck, right? But in all seriousness, right? Luka looked fantastic. LeBron is starting to find his shot, his rhythm, right? He came back from injury, kind of had his little struggles. Last few games, he's kind of gotten back into a rhythm. Austin Reaves continues to just be, playing out of his mind. It's great to see this Lakers team starting to put things together. That effort, that energy, the way that the Lakers controlled and dominated that game start to finish against the Thunder on their home court in Oklahoma. I mean, come on. It was unbelievable, right? But two guys in particular might be as important, just given what they can do and how this team looks because of them when they are playing great. And that is Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith. Those two guys are really our only two legit 3-and-D guys, right? Everyone else, that's the problem Lakers have. Just have a lot of one-dimensional guys, right? Rui, he can have his moments. Jordan Goodwin can have his moments offensively. He's actually shooting like 42% from three-point range for the Lakers, but not on a ton of sample size or volume or anything like that. Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent are the only two guys that are really legit 3-and-D guys. But it's not just them being 3-and-D guys. They have the experience. Both have been in deep playoff runs, have hit big shots, have had big moments, right? Both are, your veteran leaders. Both guys are your dirty work, grunt work guys that can just do everything on the basketball court. They're both guys that can elevate this team and really kind of help put this team to another level. And you just see every time that those two guys have good games and shoot the ball well and defend at a high level, Lakers, you can't beat them, right? Like, we had a game where LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves were pedestrian, and Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent gave you 20 apiece, and the Lakers won in convincing fashion, right? Because they're so important. It opens everything else up for LeBron, Luka, and Reaves. When those two guys are playing with confidence, hitting their stride, hitting their shots, it makes things so difficult. Because teams, they want and are worried about LeBron, Luka, and Reaves. Right? They're worried about those three guys and how can we contain them and pack the paint and do all these other things. So it just frees up Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, all these guys, Jordan Goodwin, all these guys, right? Dalton Connect, all of them need to hit shots. All of them need to be the best version of themselves, no doubt about it. But we've seen games where Rui Hachimura has been lights out and they've lost. We've seen games where Dalton Connect, has had 20 and they've lost. We've seen those games. Gabe Vincent and Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith, when those two guys are playing to the level that we know that they can play, and they're hitting shots, and again, I'm not even saying they have to give you 20 each. They had 26 combined? This team is very different. Because one, they're our primary guys off the bench, for one, right? So they're responsible for a good majority of our bench scoring, period, right? But they're also guys that just have an impact in so many ways, right? From being the defenders, being the guys sacrificing their body, diving for loose balls, right? Being able to be the hustle guys, creating turnovers, right? Chasing down loose balls, rebounding, offensive, defensive, all of those things. Applying pressure to opposing defenses. When they're hitting shots, teams now have to adjust. Teams now have to scramble, right? Because it's like, man, they've hit 10 threes between the two of them, right? They're going to, they're going to beat us, right? And now they have to close out on them. And now they have to worry about them. And, to their credit, they've been shooting the ball excellent recently. Have they had their bad moments and stretches here and there? Yeah, of course. Right? They're still role players at the end of the day, but for the most part, they have been much better. And look, Dorian Finney-Smith talked about it. He himself said, hey, like we realized we're wide open, right? Like a lot of he even said, like myself, like I'm rushing it. I'm used to like, oh, I got to catch and shoot, not realizing like I can make a sandwich and get my hair done and, write a book, check Netflix and, send a postcard and do all these other things before the defender comes to close out because they're so worried about Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reaves. So they're just wide open, right? These guys are just wide open and you can take your time and you can, square up your shoulders. And you can make sure you're getting a good, your good shot, your good rhythm, rather than, catching and just, flinging it up, flicking it up, right? And you've seen the change really since Dorian Finney-Smith said that. And he said that they all got together and they talked about it. Him, Rui, Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, right? All these guys talked about like, hey, we have time. Luka is generating wide open looks for us. LeBron is generating wide open looks for us. Teams aren't worried about the other guys. You need the role guys. All right? Again, us winning is on the shoulders of LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves, without a doubt. Right? But if you're playing 3-on-5 out there, you're probably not winning a series. Can you win a game, 2, maybe 3? Sure. But you're probably not winning 4 around. You need the role guys to step up, right? Yes, you're going to have LeBron and Luka by themselves will probably each win you a game. And then you'll have probably that monster Austin Reaves game. So you probably win 3 games. But you're going to need a game where the role guys step up. You're going to need a game where, Gabe Vincent hits 5 threes or Dorian Finney-Smith hits 5 threes, right? Or, Jordan Goodwin hits 5 threes. You need the other guys. You need the role guys to be the best version of themselves. Right? Especially come playoff time. The playoffs are so many of those games and those series are decided by just little moments, little nuanced things that you might not even really notice throughout the flow of the game. One key rebound or one key block or one key turnover or one key 3 or whatever. Right? Great example. Denver last year. Lakers looked like they were about to run away with it. Aaron Gordon gets the rebound. Kicks it out to Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. catch, shoot, bang, tie game. All of a sudden, Denver wins, and it was a completely different series. Completely different series. Lakers crumble, they lose in 5. That doesn't happen. Lakers win that game. Might have had the momentum to win the next game when they were up, 15 again. And then all of a sudden, it's 3-1, and everything's different. Right? Those little things. I mean, going back to, Trevor Ariza's steal or Ron Artest's big 3, where Kobe passed me the ball, I couldn't believe it. Kobe passed me the ball, right? Like, and he's like, forget it. I'm just going to shoot, right? Like that whole thing. Again, those moments, those instances, those little sequences, right? That the role guys you're not thinking of, right? The Dorian Finney-Smith getting a key charge or, diving for a loop. He had that one play in Thunder game where he literally dove and like smacked the ball to I think it was Luka, right? And it generated another opportunity and they got a bucket, right? Like those little things, you need that. LeBron, Luka, and Reaves are going to do their part, especially LeBron and Luka, right? Not really worried about them come playoff time. They're 2 of the greatest playoff performers ever, right? Literally ever. You're not worried about them and them performing and showing up. You're worried about everything else. You're worried about all the little nuanced stuff, right? So, to me, Lakers need to handle business. They need to do what they're supposed to do, but you also need the role guys step up, in particular, Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent, right? Rui needs to be big. He's, our 4th guy, right? But Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith, they're there to play both sides of the basketball, be those experienced vets, be the guys that can come in, hit the big shots, make the big plays, have the big moments, this, that, and the other, right? That's what you need. You need those 2 to be the best versions of themselves. The role guys, they're going to have a game here and there where they're bad, right? They're going to have a game where Dorian Finney-Smith, goes 0 of 4 from 3, or Gabe Vincent goes 0 of 4 from 3 or whatever, right? Going to have those moments. That's fine. But can they, 4 out of 7 games give you that effort, give you that energy? They're both guys that are known to elevate in the playoffs, right? Go look at Gabe Vincent's numbers come playoff time, right? Compared to the regular season, right? Like, that's what you need. That's what you want to see. We just had another game against the Thunder where Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith were huge. And Lakers blitzed another team because they were huge. Hit big shots, had big moments on both sides of the basketball. We need that. That's got to continue. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? I feel what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Now, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.